If your offer is broken, your business is broken. And so what we like to say is that your offer is actually the heart of what you're selling. It's the thing right in the center that everything else is built upon. So your headlines, your programs, your offerings, the conversations you have, the content you produce is all centered around your offer. And if your offer isn't as strong and healthy as it possibly can be, you're going to be fighting an uphill battle. Whenever a new client joins Brave's brand, one of the first things we do is look at the brand's offer, because usually that's the lowest hanging fruit possible. If you can fix your offer, you're going to unlock a huge amount of power in your brand. There are typically 3 reasons your offer isn't converting. Number 1 is your messaging is unclear and potential clients don't immediately grasp the transformation you provide. Number 2 is you're attracting the wrong audience. So high-ticket clients look for specific signals before making a decision, and you're not showcasing clear outcomes. You've probably heard this before, but clients don't buy a service, they buy the results it delivers. So let's break down number 1. So when your marketing messaging is unclear, typically what you'll find is that you will always reach a certain income ceiling. And so if someone comes to me with a business who's making $10,000 a month, the reason they're not making $100,000 a month comes down to their copy, their marketing, and their messaging. Now, if you don't have a message which is custom fit for your ideal audience, which means it speaks to the heart and soul of the person you're trying to communicate to, then frankly, your marketing message has already failed. One of the fastest ways to get a marketing message clear and locked in place is to understand one thing, and that's the fact that your client is completely me-centric, which means they are only interested in one thing, and that's what benefits are in this for me. And so if they get onto your page or if they get into your Instagram account and you're saying words like you're speaking about yourself all of the time, then frankly, that's going to completely make your client gloss over and they're not actually going to take in your message at all. And so I can't tell you how many times I see it. You go onto people's profiles and it is all about them. All right, and one of the most important things you can understand is that you have to speak to the heart and soul of your client and always speak to their me-centricity, which means using less words like I and more words like you in your marketing copy. All right, and the more that you can understand what your client is going through on a daily basis, what keeps them awake at night, what are their daily concerns, what are their fears, what are their desires, what things motivate them. The more you can understand these things, the better you can create a clear picture of what is going on in their daily life, and the more you can tailor your marketing message to them. One way I like to actually get clear detail on this is to make sure I'm recording all of my sales calls using a tool called Fathom. And what this allows me to do is to basically review my sales calls after the call, go into the transcription and actually ask ChatGPT to help analyze what the core problems were the client was speaking about, what the core problems were the client was struggling with, and what the core desires are that the client was hoping to achieve. What I can then do is actually take the words that they gave me and start to feed that back into my marketing messaging to make my prospects feel like I'm speaking directly to their soul, almost like I've torn a page out of their own personal diary and I'm literally reading it back to them. All right, that's one of the fastest ways to make sure your marketing message is clear. And this kind of leads on into the second point. Most of the time, your offer isn't converting well enough because you're attracting the wrong audience. And you actually attract the wrong audience because your marketing message is unclear too. And so the way that you actually dial in the marketing message and actually start attracting the right audience is to know exactly who you're speaking to. And the reason you're probably attracting the wrong audience is because your marketing message is probably too broad at this stage. Your offer is always a sense of relief that someone can feel. Your offer is a sense of confidence that someone can experience. Your offer is a series of feelings that people can feel. And when you understand that, you can start to leverage people's dream state on the sales calls that you're doing, but also in the copy that you're writing. Because the highest leverage that you can have over someone are their dreams. And the more that you understand that through going through a discovery process, whether it's on the sales call, whether it's through the DMs, whether it's through application forms, when you really know what people's true values are and what their real dream state is, whether it be to have more peace, to have more family time, to have financial freedom. When you understand what those things are through asking questions and being a detective through your sales process, you can then feed that person's dreams and values back to them, and it will be way more motivating than just going in and trying to press and push their pain points and make them feel shit. Because most traditional marketing and traditional sales says that you have to make people agitated, you have to piss them off. And while that does work, Okay, a higher form of motivation for people is to actually get them from an inhibitory state to an excitatory state. If you can take someone from a stressed state where they feel terrible, they feel afraid, they feel shit, and you can transfer them and move them into an excitatory state where they're excited and they feel happy and joyous, they're going to be way more inclined to actually pay you high ticket prices because they're in a state of expansion. One of the worst things you can do is sell someone high ticket and they're really, really anxious and stressed about it, because most of the time that creates buyer's remorse. People feel unmotivated and feel icky throughout the process. I much prefer to get people that I'm speaking to, I much prefer to get them excited and feel really positive about their future. And the way that we do that is to listen to them on the sales call, understand what their dream state is, get them to express what their dream state is, and in the process of expressing their dream state, naturally their body turns into a more excitatory state because they're thinking and imagining and visualizing what this is going to feel like, what their transformation is going to feel like. And at that point, you're going to be way more successful in actually closing them because they are excitatory, they're in expansion, they're expansive. Imagine trying to close someone on a 10K package when they feel fearful, when they feel shit. They need to trust you, and the best way you can get them to trust you is to allow them to express their true dream desire. And if you can do that across your messaging, if you can understand who your target audience is, and if you can start to demonstrate that what life is going to look like after they have implemented your process and had your transformation, you're going to have no problem converting your offers, whether it be on sales pages, sales calls, direct conversations, it doesn't matter. If you can lock those three things in place, you're going to have way more success, you're going to be able to make way more money, and your conversion rate is going to soar through the road, and people are going to think, holy crap, what happened to you? That's awesome. Now, if you like this video, I have an entire process on how to build an engaging and powerful offer using the power of AI to actually help flesh it out of you. We've created a whole step-by-step process around it. If you want access to that, join our community below, and I'll see you on the inside. All right, my friend, all the best.